Hello, and welcome to our Academics and College Counseling webinar at Linden Hall. My name is Natasha Lopez. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here at Linden Hall. I've been here for about 7 years, and I help students through their application process, applying to Linden Hall. I usually coordinate interviews and campus tours. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. But I'd love to introduce our guest tonight. We have our Director of Academic Affairs, Mr. Chris Foltz, and our Director of College Counseling, Ms. Paige Smith, to talk a little bit about our academics and our college counseling program. So I'll let them take over with introducing themselves. Mr. Foltz, if you'd like to go first, you can say your name, um, job title, what your role at Linden Hall is, and how many years you've been here.
Sure. My name is Chris Foltz. I'm the Director of Academic Affairs. This is year 4 for me here at Linden Hall. Prior to coming to Linden Hall, I worked 22 years in public education as a teacher, principal, assistant principal, and director.
Thank you. And Ms. Smith?
Yeah, hi. I'm Miss Smith. I am the Director of College Counseling. I'm entering my 4th school year here, and so obviously through college counseling, I direct a lot of upper school students through the college application process. Starting in 8th and 9th grade, we do some introductory to what that looks like, with it manifesting into its most advanced formed in 11th and 12th grade, really preparing the application materials. My goal always is to make sure that students have a wide range of schools that fit their needs, and as well as like knowing the nuances of the tricky college admissions cycles. I also serve in many different roles here, on the student life side, and I just love interacting with our students.
Well, thank you. So we kind of start off with some questions for both of you. So my first question is, can you describe how the curriculum is personalized to meet the needs and interests of each student?
Sure. So here at Linden Hall, we personalize our education plans for each student, no matter what grade they are in. That involves either Ms. Smith or myself sitting down with the students during the scheduling process. And we ask them what they want to do whenever they graduate high school, what they want to go to college for. And then we actually just back map what courses that they should take in order to put them in position to be successful. For example, if they tell us they want to be a doctor, then we make sure that we get them as many science courses as possible, and we put them in a rigorous process. As far as our course loads are concerned, we have various levels in order to meet our students' needs and desires, starting with our lowest level, which is our college prep level. And then we have an honors level course, and then we have an AP level course, and on the same level as our AP courses, we also have dual enrollment in college and the high school courses.
Thank you. So what type of academic supports are available for students who need that extra help?
Sure. So whenever we look at our students that need the extra help, we have a wide variety of opportunities. We look at our students and possibly having a peer tutor. Students that need that support can come to me, and then I work with our student body to find interested students. If that's not working, we also do have adult tutors that we work with. In addition, all of our teachers have office hours and a class at the end of the day called Power Hour. And during that time, the students have the opportunity to go back to their teachers to get extra help, to make up tests, to have some information retaught to them. So we really do strive hard from an academic perspective. From a social emotional perspective, we do have various support team on our student life, headed by our Director of Student Affairs, Miss Natasha Solomon, and her team that, including our school nurse and including our school counselor, really um, work hard to make sure that our students have all the supports they could possibly need, from medical attention to addressing social emotional health. They do a great job of working with our students and our faculty and staff, as well as parents, to make sure our students are well supported.
Thank you. And kind of to go with that, um, how are we able to support our students when they want to be challenged academically, and how do both of your departments support that?
Ms. Smith, you want to start?
Sure. Um, so really, as Mr. Foltz had mentioned earlier, we do work high school backwards. And so when we talk to these students and they let us know what their college goals are or their career goals are, we really work back from that to make sure that we can not only get them in the best position academically through courses, but also in a broader view of career exploration and extracurriculars and leadership opportunities, and making sure that when they're building their college application that they can show not only that they are able to take challenging courses, but they are able to put to practice all the things they're learning in class. Also, with the different dual enrollment and AP offerings that we have, you can really customize where you want to be challenged. So, say you are not a math person, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be taking challenging classes in, the social sciences or in English. And we would offer different classes through those advanced programs that you could take the challenging classes in the subjects that you feel comfortable with or that you're interested in. We can even, through dual enrollment courses with our college partners, really like specify what it is. So like we have a student who really wants to go into forensic science into college, and we were able to get her an introductory forensic science course through our dual enrollment partnerships. So she can start exploring what that looks like at a college level, so that she's best prepared for that next step of education once she graduates.
I would say, in addition to what Ms. Smith said, we do, as a small school, have a very wide range of opportunities from an academic perspective to challenge our students, whether it is something as an honors course. Honors classes require each student to participate in and complete an honors project, in addition to the courses that Ms. Smith talked about with the dual enrollment, AP, and college and high school level courses. Our students really are free to go in any direction that they need in order to meet their career goals. Another opportunity we have is we work with outside vendors, who can also help us find the courses that our students are interested in and our students need to be successful.
Can either one of you guys kind of go into what dual enrollment is? I know a lot of students know what AP is, but some students, especially our international students, um, aren't as knowledgeable about dual enrollment.
Yeah, so dual enrollment is a partnership with colleges and universities. So we have them with 4 different colleges. Is that correct, Mr. Foltz?
Correct.
Yeah, and so it allows our students to take classes at those colleges for credits here at high school. And so for the forensic science class that I mentioned before, she is going to get high school credit that will show up on her transcript here. But she's also able to turn in the transcript she's taking at Harrisburg University. She's able to also turn in those Harrisburg University transcripts into all of her college applications, to show that she is successful in a college level course already. Um, And then also they can be transferred for credit depending on which college you're going to and which coursework it's going to. Similar to an AP where you take the AP exam, you get a certain score, you can transfer that into your, this one, there's no test, you just have to pass the course, and you'll be able to transfer that to most colleges at minimum for a general education credit. And then I know Mr. Foltz's favorite part about our dual enrollment is the discounted rate. So you can take a college course for a fraction of the price of what it would cost you if you were a traditional college student attending that university. So right now, each course is between like $600 and $800, and they're actually walking away with those college credits as if they were attending the university. So it does allow students to take a more wide breadth of classes that we can't offer here, because it's hard to find just a teacher just for forensic science. It's a very niche thing, so we can utilize those university partners around us to be able to have that individualized course available to our students.
And Ms. Smith, can you kind of go into what the timeline would look like if I am an incoming ninth grader who would like to start college counseling earlier than the typical 11th grade year?
Yeah. So I'm actually in the process here in the fall in November. Was working really hard at the beginning of the school year of making sure that all the seniors had their early applications prepared. So I really do like to dedicate that time to them because it's very important to get those. But now that the early applications are in and a lot of the work is done for the college applications, it's now the time to turn on to focus on our underclassmen. So over the next month, I'll be meeting with ninth graders, 10th graders, and 11th graders for individual college counseling meetings. During these meetings, we talk about what are the career pathways that you're interested in. I have a little career pathway survey that they can fill out, and they're like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. Well, here's a bunch of different careers. Do any of these sound interesting to you? What are your favorite classes? That way that they're not deciding in 11th grade that they like engineering and then have no practice or haven't taken the appropriate courses to do that. So again, through that, it's kind of like the top down. Let's plan for the big stuff so that we're as prepared as possible. We talk about what their extracurriculars look like. In ninth grade, that conversation is, what did you get involved in this year? What are you liking? What would you like to pursue further? In 10th grade, it's like, okay, you've been a member for 2 years. Next year, what are you looking for leadership? Do you think you want to become a secretary or treasurer or president of this organization you've been involved in? In 11th grade, it's what project are you working on in your extracurricular? So we're having the same conversations at different levels throughout the starting in ninth grade. So a lot of ninth graders feel intimidated, like, what do you mean? We're talking about college. I'm only in ninth grade. I got plenty of time. And so I try really hard to make sure that the conversation is more of like, what are your goals in life and how we can plan what your high school looks like academically, outside of the classroom to prepare. If you tell me that your dream school is NYU, I want to know that when you're in ninth grade so we can make sure that you're on track to submit your best application forward instead of waiting until 11th grade when it might be too late. But 11th graders still get those individualized meetings. So every school student in upper school will have at least 2 individualized meetings with me throughout the year. The one in the fall is kind of an introductory, where we're at, what our goals are for the year. And then in the spring, we'll meet and we'll talk about how we're going to make the plan for what their next year looks like, or maybe even in their summer, getting connected with summer opportunities. But in 11th grade, those individual meetings happen in the fall, but then in the springtime, we do have a dedicated time during that power hour slot that Mr. Foltz was talking about, where I meet with 11th graders where we start to prepare what those applications look for. So from the first class, we're getting onto Common App and creating our account and starting to fill it out. So that's not something that we want to wait to do because we want to perfect what that looks like. We start drafting our personal statement essay, which is the college essay that you always hear about. We talk about creating a list of colleges that best fit your needs, that are a mix of reach options, but also some safety and target options as well. And we talked about standardized testing too. The big test that you'll take and in 11th grade, we do offer that SAT here at school too, so that they can take it in a little more convenience. But preparing what that looks like and the importance of that standardized testing. So that's every Monday throughout your 11th grade year that you're going to meet with me and hear something about college. So it's not a if you opt in, because we know that some students may be too nervous or don't know where to start. So it's already built into the curriculum that there is this place to start for them to start thinking about that. And then in 12th grade, we also have that same course in the fall, and that's what we've been doing for the past few months to make sure that all of those application materials are not just submitted, but are the best version of themselves. We even work with the English department to do essay review and writing, which I think is pretty unique to Linden Hall of that we have this English department that deeply cares about their college applications, not just their AP literature assignments. And so we have like specialized days that they support them in that too. So you would find that not many 12th graders are submitting applications that are not well thought out, not well reviewed, or well edited. And so that personalized care starting in 9th grade ensures that we get to that place when they're in 12th grade. And I would encourage you all to go follow us on social media. So as those acceptances start coming in, you can start seeing some of the schools that our students get into because of that thoughtful preparation.
Thank you. I know that was a long question or answer to my question, but thank you. I know a lot of families um, want to know our college prep, and I know some of them like to start as early as 9th grade. So it's wonderful that we have such a great program. Um, Another question that kind of goes hand in hand that I would like for both of you to answer is what do you think sets us academically apart from other schools, maybe in our area or other boarding schools?
I just talked a lot, so Mr. Foltz, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. So I will say that our ability to personalize individual learning for each student is by far the best I've seen in any place that I've ever been. You would think that for such a small school, we would have limited opportunities, but that is just not the case here at Linden Hall. We do our best to not only internally, but through partnerships, offer a wide range of courses to help support our students. I think that they will tell you that that's one of the things that they like about Linden Hall.
Yeah, to go along with that point, I think also the small class sizes are really essential to our programs. Is honors classes that we were talking about earlier, like involve a pretty lengthy project, but our students are able to complete those with faculty advising because they have 4 other kids in their class, and so we can do that personalized attention to through those projects, they can explore and research the things that interest them within the scope of their class. And so that academic flexibility with faculty support, I think, is something that can only be provided at a small school like Linden Hall because we have the capacity to do that. And I see a lot of projects at the end of the year that I'm like, how would they even know to study that? It's because they are given the freedom and the guidance to really take some academic risks as well.
I would even go one step further. Sometimes we have classes that are very, very unique that our students are interested in, and we don't have it internally, or we don't have it with an outside partnership. We do work very hard with our students to create independent study opportunities for them. To give you an example, I have one student whose family's from Pakistan and was interested in learning Urdu. That's not a very popular language here in the United States. So I was able to work with her family and a teacher that they found to set up an independent study for the student. And actually, the study of the class, we have now worked for 3 years. So the student is now up to Urdu 3. So that's just one example of the many ways that we work with our students to make sure they get what they need.
Thank you. And how does Linden Hall and your departments stay informed about trends and changes in like college admissions and just in different academics? An example I think about is the difference between like dual enrollment and APs. When I started, it was APs, and then we saw more students be interested in dual enrollment. So how do you guys stay up with those trends?
Yeah. And so like I know that from the college counseling, I'm a part of different professional groups like PACAC and NACAC, which are college admissions counseling professional groups, where constantly on the community boards or in different trainings that they provide that talk about what the trends are. Also, a lot of these like uh, colleges will offer different webinars. I attend as many of those as I can. So when a kid tells me they want to apply to Franklin and Marshall, I've been to the webinar where Franklin and Marshall told me exactly what they're looking for. We also, being in Lancaster County, have connections with some great colleges, including Franklin and Marshall, and we've even invited them to our campus to talk to our faculty about writing letters of recommendation. So we're really leaning on those partnerships to tell us exactly how to best prepare our students and our staff and faculty to get these students in the best position to get into the colleges that they're looking for.
I would add on that not only do we do all the things that Ms. Smith said, I think the other thing that's important is we talk with our families and our students. A lot of them transfer into us and come from other schools that offer unique programs that they enjoyed. And if it's something that we don't have here at Linden Hall, I think it's something that we explore and see if we can make that happen, to make sure that our students are either able to continue what they started or to be able to start something that they saw that they may be interested in.
Thank you. And so, what advice would you give families who are beginning to think about college readiness in middle school or high school?
Yeah. So I would say that uh, to make sure that you do a couple of things. Obviously, we all know good grades help a lot. So making sure that you work with your school administrators, with the counseling office, with the academic office, to make sure that you're best preparing yourself with rigor of courses, but also that you're successful in those courses and learning how to make sure that you can balance all of that. The other thing is looking at ways that you can explore academics, research, internships outside of the school community, taking that extra step to do something that's not required like school is, shows a lot of initiative. And so whether that is volunteering at a food bank for several years and really getting involved in their mission is going to be a lot more impactful than just taking 10 AP classes, right? Is the US colleges specifically, which is another thing that we work with students on, is the difference between US colleges and UK colleges and Australian colleges and Canadian colleges, because we do have students who apply all over the world. Um, but definitely for US colleges, they're looking for those well-rounded students to add to a well-rounded student body. And so whether that is that does involve doing things outside of school. So I think like with us, we're really working hard on being an advocate and a resource for our students to find those opportunities, but those opportunities are essential to preparing for those college applications. And so doing well really in school through extracurriculars and getting involved in academics, but also what are you doing outside of school that will allow colleges to see like what your passions are and how you will be a contributor to your community.
Another thing that Ms. Smith is constantly doing is sending out opportunities that either come across my desk or her desk for students to complete, whether it's being the summer, whether it's over a break, whether it's a competition. A lot of those are personalized, such as something working with the New York Times from a photography perspective. Just unique opportunities that are through organizations or through colleges and universities that give our students a chance to expand a passion and to help further develop their academic and college application process.
And then my last question is, I've spoken to both of you privately about some success stories that we've seen throughout the years. And so I'd like if you both share a success story of a student that you recently worked with who's now in college.
Yeah, so I think there was a student who graduated last year that we were all very proud of. Ended up actually enrolling at University of Michigan, which is a great school. But also she got accepted to every school she applied to. And so she had a really great personal statement essay about the importance of play, which was very interesting, and talking about how as soon as you get to high school, no one plays on the playground anymore, and how you learn valuable life lessons on the playground. So I thought that essay was really unique and really made her stand out. And she was able to work with myself and the English department on really perfecting that essay, which I think was a big influence. I'd say the other big thing that I was very proud of her is that she did a lot of research on what colleges to apply to. So she really did. Both of us worked together to make sure she was applying to the colleges that were the best fit for her, and not just applying to the every college to see which college stuck. And so I think that was a success story for me, because it proved that, like, if you're really intentional about creating that college list, like, you will find success, because she found the colleges that were the best fit for her, and the colleges agreed. Hence why they accepted her. But I was really proud of her personal statement essay. But just anytime a student can have all the choices, we really love that. So um, she also was able to receive a pretty good scholarship to attend there. Our students last year earned over $4.5 million in scholarships from all their acceptances. So, like, it's not that they're just getting accepted because the college is, not selective, or it's that they're getting into these colleges and they're getting heavy scholarships to be able to pay for those opportunities, so that they can, find success at whatever college they choose. I also will say, like, we had a QuestBridge Scholar winner who went to Columbia. So if you're not familiar with QuestBridge Scholar, it is a special program for students whose families make a certain income level. And so it's just another pathway for accessibility for students. And it's very, very selective as any of those top universities. And she was able to secure a full ride scholarship to Columbia through that program. And I talk to her often, and she's doing great there, and is really enjoying her experience. So I like that one, because we stay in touch, and I know that it was the right fit for her, and everything's worked out for that. And so that's been really nice to see.
I'm going to go with the student that came to us from a little bit of a different situation. I don't know if many of you know, but Linden Hall also has a postgraduate program. And the student that I am referring to came to us as a graduate from one of our local high schools, and actually graduated 2 years before coming to Linden Hall. The student wanted to be a doctor and explored many different medical tracks across the world, and decided to further one that was similar to what her father did. And the school was actually in Dubai. And in researching the requirements that she had completed at her local high school and the requirements that the university needed, she found out that she was missing some of those. So she sought out Linden Hall, and we sat down with her and her family, and we developed a personalized education plan for her to be able to get all of those requirements and actually get accepted into the university. She has now been there for over a year and is thriving and accredits her success to her time here at Linden Hall.
Well, thank you both for joining me to talk about Linden Hall's academics and college counseling program. I know our students really appreciate everything you guys do in the background and helping them get college preparedness. And so thank you both.
Yeah.
Thank you.